Hello everyone, we're on to the next vlog and we are in Samarkand. It is night time, so I've taken the train to Samarkand today from Tashkent. Almost missed the train, got there at 1:10 when it was 1:15 departure, so good thing they don't check tickets or anything like that, and you just walk onto the platform and hop on the train. Samarkand so far, very nice. I've met some friends on the train and they're travelling as a group, so I've managed to, they already had an Airbnb booked and then they've just invited me to join them in the Airbnb. So it's a good start to Samarkand, and then we've had dinner now at a restaurant and tried some borscht and some other stuff. Borscht and some lagman, and the bread was really nice. But yeah, now we're walking around looking at Rajasthan Square, which is the main sort of tourist attraction. And it is awesome. We'll see how it is in the daytime as well. Yeah. Plan for this vlog, we'll sort of just do Samarkand and then don't know how long it'll take, or might end up in Bukhara, but I don't think so. I think we'll just be in Samarkand for the next few days looking around. Samarkand is apparently very beautiful, and based on this first look I would say that sounds true. So we'll get into it. Good morning people, it's the next day. We're back at Rajasthan Square, but we're actually in the square now. So it was 100,000 som entry and it looks just as good during the day. It is building. This one looks off slightly. I'll get a video of it from a distance, but it looks like it's on a lean. So apparently this is a madrasa, which is like a place of learning. I don't know, I've done no research. I really need to Google. I actually know nothing about Samarkand. I've just come here because everyone said it was beautiful. It is very nice. It's definitely more touristy than Tashkent as well. So, and I guess that's why it's on the list of places people actually go. Whereas Tashkent's more the transport hub. And there's definitely a lot more Western tourists here as well. So, but more like groups of older people getting taken around and talked to. So we'll have a look around this for a while. That is a big book. Can't really get in there. So we're now in Bibi Kuna, something like that. I think that's its name. Apparently this is the most famous mosque in Uzbekistan, but the girls I'm walking around with have told me this. I don't actually know. I didn't know this was a place. It's very, like everything in Uzbekistan, it's very aesthetic. So what I am learning is that I am just an ignorant, culturally ignorant human being, and this place is actually very famous. And as per usual, I know nothing about it. There's a few signs. It was 75,000 som entry, so 175,000 som so far for the entrance into the two big things. Which is reasonably expensive, but especially for stuff you've never heard of. But I've just paid the money. We're going in. That's cool. I really like the Islamic architecture and the patterns, and they're just massive. Personally, I think it's impractically big. Like, who needs a doorway that big? Some sort of giant. Back in those days, you know, someone sitting on a horse isn't that tall. It's very nice. Good afternoon, people. We have arrived in Bukhara. I don't know how to pronounce it, as per usual. The train was 2.5 hours from Samarkand. I forgot to video anything of Samarkand after the first day. So yesterday all we did, we just went to a market. So I've shown markets before, it's not really, there wasn't anything that different. And then I'll be honest, quite a lot of the buildings that are really famous, they all just look the same. So once you've seen a few of them, you've kind of seen all of them. It's similar to Thai temples. I think I already mentioned that earlier. So now in Bukhara, I still haven't booked accommodation. No idea where I'll stay, and I also don't know what I'm supposed to do in this village, this city. I haven't googled things to do here yet as well. I do need to book my train to Aktal from Nukus, and then my flight from Aktal to Baku as well in the next few days, because we're starting to get under time constraints and I should kind of know when I'm going to be there and how many days I'm going to take to get there and what services are available. I've looked and it looks like there's a 21-hour train direct from Nukus to Aktal in Kazakhstan. So have a look, but at the moment we'll explore Bukhara. If I may talk about something that frustrates me no matter where I go, as a traveller who tries to be as cheap as possible, taxi drivers lying to you. You know, I have the internet, I can look up buses to the city from the train station, and why would they not have a bus to the city from the train station? It would make no sense. And instead you still get taxi drivers saying to you, oh, there's no bus. Okay, I'm not going to use you because you lied to me. It's funny. So I've just hopped on this bus and you're talking about 3,000 soms here to get to pretty much right next to my hotel. And then the taxi driver, what, they're going to offer me like 50,000, you know, so I could get it 90% cheaper, and they think it's frustrating. I know that like it sometimes works for them because people don't realise this sort of stuff, but you know, like as soon as someone say I'm going to take the bus, just leave them alone. It's so annoying. Although the only time I've had honest taxi drivers, actually, I have had a few honest taxi drivers, and that was in Tashkent. They were honest and they were like, oh, you can take a bus to get there. And in China, one time we had taxi drivers and they they told us the bus stopped at 7 o'clock, so they were right. So I've booked this guest house. It was very, very cheap, 10 New Zealand dollars a night, except they have tourist taxes here, so I think it's about $16 a night. And there was no one here. I don't even know if there's anyone else staying here. There doesn't seem to be anything going on. But for some reason they've put me in this room, which is a double bed and a single bed, so 3 beds, and the bathroom. But I did book for a private room, so can't complain there for the value. And then there's a courtyard out here with a kitchen. Yeah, very cheap. I don't actually know the full price. I'll put it up because apparently the boss lady's still an hour away from coming here to actually check me in, and she sent someone else over to just show me into the room that I'm getting. So yeah, we'll see. We're getting a tour at the moment. Going around.
Welcome to go inside. Don't touch, just walk around, take photos.
So apparently this park, the government wanted to build something on it, and they started digging and just ended up finding a bunch of old ancient housing and stuff. So instead of turning it into a park, it's just turned into a archaeological site, archaeological park, which is really interesting. We're just doing a tour, and it is going to lots of sites, so it's pretty interesting. So a lot of the buildings have these stalks on top of them. We're in this square, and this town used to have quite a lot of marshes, so there were lots of stalks, and then when the Soviet Union was in existence right near the start, the marshes obviously were where lots of mosquitoes were, so they were giving everyone malaria, so they drained the marshes, and now there's no longer stalks, so they put fake nests on top of the towers because they used to have real nests, which is quite interesting. Our guide also said when the Soviets initially took over, it was very violent, but then after 1924, which I guess is actually when Stalin sort of came in, they implemented like the education system and stuff like that. So a lot of the older people who lived during the Soviet Union, or she said pretty much all of them, loved the Soviet Union and they miss it, which is really interesting as well. Yeah. Here's a camel for some reason. We've finished the tour now. This is an old fortress palace thing. It's got a museum inside it. I might do it tomorrow. I don't know. Can't decide. So, figure it out. I'm just really hungry at the moment. This is the sort of breakfast you get included in the guest house accommodation. Tea. Drinking so much tea. These two have just been moaning. They're moaning at each other for the last 2 minutes.
Enemies or lovers? I
Yeah.
can't tell.
No, they're trying to establish like dominance, boundaries, territory.
Who's the alpha?
I think I'm voting for you.
Good evening, people. This is my last night in Bukhara. I haven't really videoed today because I haven't really done anything. All I've done in the afternoon is I've just gone and got some fruit from the supermarket. I have also booked all of my flight to Baku and my train to Aktau, and then my train to Kiva, which is tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to have an early night tonight. So far, Samarkand and Bukhara were really cool, even though I didn't film a whole lot of them. Actually, I filmed quite a few sites, but it didn't feel like I filmed a lot of them because it's been about 6 days and I haven't really done that much. But Bukhara has been my favourite city in Uzbekistan. It's just got a really nice vibe. I met up with James again. He was going to Turkmenistan with his group and he was on his last night in Uzbekistan a couple of nights ago, and he said the same thing. Bukhara, it's just got a really cool vibe. It's really pretty. The old town's all integrated. You can walk around it all. You just feel like you can stay here a few days, which is what I've done. He'd been to Kiva, which I'm going to tomorrow, and apparently you can do that in a sort of a day, but I've booked my flight, so I'm stretching things out, and then next Thursday, well, 1 week from now, is my train to Aktau. Yeah, Bukhara's been really nice. Uzbekistan's been a pleasant surprise. Definitely a place worth visiting. I would say for the Central Asian countries, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan are the top 2 to visit if you want sort of good experiences, and then Almaty is one of the nicest cities I've seen in Kazakhstan, and then Tajikistan to see the Pamir Highway. Awesome. So just what you want to do. If you want more infrastructure, you'd come to Uzbekistan because it does have really good infrastructure. But yeah, even at night it looks really nice. The weather's pretty good, and it's just been a good time. Personally enjoyed it. The food's also been a bit cheaper, but there's no hostels, it's more homestays and guest houses, which you can live with. Yeah. I'll probably end the vlog here, and we'll start the next one heading to Kiva, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.